Anime Death Spiral, the only anime podcast that has been running for over 2 years. Do you realize that is... It's 15 years in podcast age?
It's groundbreaking, really.
We're basically old podcast men at this point.
Yeah, no, I think I think that we are definitely deserving of a spot in some kind of world record book.
Oh, yeah, some kind.
Yeah.
I would say all
Maybe
kinds.
not Guinness. I don't think we've worked our way all the way up to that level of notoriety yet.
Well, you know, like the Walk of Fame star, you have to just pay for it now.
Honestly, if we could just pay for it, that would be great. That means that we would have money to pay for stuff with.
Yeah. We could buy a Walk of Fame star if we had a little bit extra cash.
Maybe this is the online movement we should start. Hey, people, donate to our GoFundMe so that we can get a Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
I want to be the first podcast that has a Hollywood Walk of Fame star right outside of Man's Chinese Theater.
Who would you want to be next to? Who would our neighbors be?
Geez, they rotate them out so fast. I'm not sure who would even be there. I mean, preferably like one of the Three Stooges, but they're probably gone by now.
Yeah.
Maybe Mickey Rooney?
Oh, that's a good one. I was going to say William H. Macy is like my big get.
Really?
Yeah.
Macy, huh?
Yeah, that'd be great. Man, Fargo, I love that movie.
What about like a Richard Curtis, you know?
Yeah, sure.
That'd be fun.
I mean...
And Errol Flynn, he was the good Robin Hood. The only good Robin Hood movie they ever made.
Heck, I'd be good with a Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, well, sure, of course. Mm-hmm. I was just, the golden age, you know?
Well,
we're talking so much about the decline of Hollywood that it's like, I've been thinking about that golden age a lot. The movies that people don't want to watch anymore because they're in black and white.
Or they're racist.
Or the ones that people don't want to watch because they're racist and in black and white, ironically.
I mean, I just watched Gone with the Wind for the first time the other night, so.
And you were like, man, this would be good if it wasn't so racist.
Actually, my first thought was, could have been 90 minutes.
It could have. Yes, you're right.
There's a lot of chaff there that you could have cut out. We get that sucker down to 90, a tight 87.
I know. It's like you can draw a direct line from Gone to the Wind straight to Lord of the Rings being 3 hours.
Right down to the ontological evil of various people.
We are back. I don't want to talk about movies. Jesus Christ. I mean, if we were going to talk about movies, I'd want to talk about G-Cucks, but we're still holding it in reserve.
We're holding that one, keeping that one up our sleeve for a future episode, but we will get to it.
There's still time to go and see it if it's playing somewhere near you. You should do that. It's actually cool. Mm-hmm. Despite being Studio Kara. I mean, come on.
No, we're not talking about movies, which is the only industry more depraved and depressing than anime. We unfortunately...
The Hollywood sickos.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we are talking about anime, which is
the anime and manga sickos.
Yeah, anime and manga sickos. Not to be confused with the other entity of that name.
Yes, and actually it's fun to start with the anime and manga sickos because this first entry in our part 2 of our master list...
That's right.
...is one of the anime sickos of all time. Shall we dive back in, Nate? Are you ready? Are you strapped in? Have I turned the key enough?
I am strapped in. We are back again for our 2024 year in review, part 2, the sequel, the wrap-up, the end.
The first two-parter.
This is our 2024 list.
2024 was too big to be contained in a single list, which is, something I think most shows would brag about. Frankly, I feel, it's complicated. It's complicated to talk about how I feel about that. But I think we should just return to it. Where were we? We were at Aliens.
Yeah.
Strictly speaking, more of a graphic novel than a manga. But let's get back to some manga-ass manga with our first entry.
Number 100.
My life was an otome game, is what I thought. But it is actually a real life risking death game.
I feel like the entire, it's all summed up right there. I'm very upfront about it.
Yeah, you kind of get the idea. Do you remember me talking about this one?
Well, I'm assuming it's about a person who thinks their life is an otome game, but actually it's a real life death game where they risk death.
They do risk death, and it is a real-life death game that they thought was an Otome game. You're right. Good intuition.
I know. I barely remember you talking about this. I just remember the title.
This is one of the most egregious ones probably on this list. Remember when I got really mad about less than lovers, more than a couple or something?
Yes.
The forced cohabitation one. Mm-hmm. Now I talked about how depraved that is. Well, that was more depraved in a sort of conceptual way. This one really gets at the core of like a very literal depravity of manga. This is the one that is about the guy who wakes up one day and he has a status window of all things.
Gotta love it.
And the status window is telling him to do certain things to women.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to get into what those things are. I'd rather just not. But they lead him to believe that he is going to hook up. Let's put it that way. But it turns out that, in fact, when he goes to, hook up, he witnesses a horrible murder. It turns out the women that the game is trying to get him to hook up with, let's say the Otome-style girlfriend harem pool, are all horrifying psychos who are damaging society in, like, real, actual ways. And the game is, in fact, about him trying to get them to either turn themselves in or, in worst-case scenario, kill themselves. Ooh, boy, this one's bad. This was real bad.
I don't like any part of that.
Yeah.
Especially not the weird obsession of violence against women. That's a no from me.
Yeah, this one also has a big death restart component, which we've talked about a little bit. You know, ReZero obviously holds the death restart crown at the moment. Mm-hmm. But it's a thing that I'm not totally against. I just find it to be massively underutilized.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of creative things you can do with that kind of mechanic, but it feels like obviously the function in these kind of stories is to just provide recurring shock value.
But that can also be done well. Do you remember Happy Death Day?
Sure. Loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. It's also a death restart that is gratuitous in its violence because it's a horror movie, but also uses the concept pretty well in a fun way.
So no to this, but yes to Happy Death Day.
Yeah, watch Happy Death Day instead of this.
All right.
Okay, what's next?
101. We've got Mononoke. This one's pretty cut and dry. This kicks ass. It's awesome. It looks freaking amazing. It's weird, and it's been going on forever. Kind of.
Well, so the reason it's on this list, I believe, is because I watched the first of the new trilogy of movies, which is really wild because Mononoke has been done for a very long time, and just kind of out of nowhere, they decided to resurrect it. You have not watched the movie yet.
I have not watched the movie. I've seen some of the original series from, a while ago.
It's only like 10 episodes.
Well, my attention span isn't 10 episodes long.
Yeah. They're tight. They're a tight 20. It's about as long as Gone with the Wind. You could just put them all on.
Can we get a Gone with the Wind supercut of Mononoke? Release that in 4K instead of those Mamoru Hosoda movies.
The movie is very good. It takes the concept of the show into absolute overdrive. There is a lot of fucking poetry being read, juxtaposed with various very strange imagery.
So you said poetry, and you've already lost like 50% of potential audience candidates.
Okay, I'll get them back. The medicine seller goes Super Saiyan in the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Oh,
yeah, right?
All right.
You can stand a couple haikus if you get to see the medicine seller go full Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2.
I don't support anything that involves me having to use my brain, so...
Well, you wouldn't get it anyway.
No, that's definitely a recommendation for me.
Okay, the Traveling Gyaru.
This was one of mine. Unfortunately, I like it. I liked it a lot. It was, a not so cut and dry Gyaru comic. Kind of out of the box on this one, which I always appreciate. It was about a Gyaru who, like the title suggests, travels around Japan doing good deeds and solving people's problems. Kind of like
hold on. Gyaru don't do that.
Yes, they do. Well, this one does.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure, buddy.
It's kind of like a wholesome version of Golden Boy, if I can call it that.
What a great way to put it.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah. That's yes from me.
Did this one ever get an end?
Nope, it got canceled after 10 chapters.
Cancel after 10 chapters. Okay. The Rings of Power. Man, they're cranking this Lord of the Rings shit out, huh? The fucking War of the Rohirrim anime just came out. Ironically, I have not watched that, but I have watched The Rings of Power.
We weren't ever going to watch that. I'm surprised you watched this show to begin with.
I might end up watching War of the Rohirrim just because one of my watch partners is desperately interested in watching it for some reason.
Oh my God.
I am not interested at all, but you know, it's nice to
they make fun of you for enjoying live theater, but they want to spend time watching this.
Yes, the Lord of the Rings anime. Yes, I'll probably get around to it. And you know, it's nice to give back sometimes.
Yeah.
They watched a lot of anime they did not want to watch. I could probably put up with one movie.
Okay, maybe this is you getting your dues in.
Yeah. All right. Next one is pretty similar vein. The Penguin. This one's a little tough because
Colin Farrell's a tough guy.
well, no, I mean Colin Farrell is a weird guy. This one's tough because I love Christine Milioti.
Christine Milioti.
I really love her. Like one of those, you know, kind of Hollywood crushes kind of love. I don't have too many, but man, she is so fucking, So saying that a show that she actually gets like a big leading role in really sucks super bad is painful for me to say. It's not good. I don't want to feel that way. But you can't get around it. The Penguin is really stupid and bad.
I'm offended that they didn't get a real penguin to play the character. So, yeah.
Or a short guy.
Or at least a short man. Come on.
You know, I know Danny DeVito is the meme. He was the penguin that everybody really loved the first time around. But I would have taken any short guy.
Well, we always have the Batman 2 to correct it coming up.
Yeah. Fucking Matt Reeves, man. What the fuck?
All right, 105, the big anime controversy of 2024. We've got the HBO Max / Adult Swim co-production adaptation of Junji Ito's Uzumaki. Infamously.
Did you?
Very bad.
Now, the only question really is, did you finish watching it?
I watched 5 episodes and I couldn't bring myself to watch the 6th one, so no.
All right. I watched 3 episodes. I could not continue. What a bummer.
It got just so
bummer.
much progressively worse over time. It got, that was a big disappointment.
Geez, still grieving for that. Okay, moving on. Let this grieving soul retire.
Not grieving for this one. I'm glad I did not stick with this. This is one of mine from, I want to say last fall's season, maybe. This was the one about the guy. It's a standard kind of Dragon Quest-y fantasy world, and the main character is he's the head of the most infamous, toughest, like, adventurers guild group, right? And his dirty secret is that he actually doesn't have any special abilities, and all of his teammates are like way more powerful than him. And he keeps trying to tell them that he's not cut out to be an adventurer and he doesn't want to do this anymore. And actually, he really hates this life and he just wants to like open up a shop or something and be chill. And everyone just ignores him and assumes that he's being modest and is actually the most powerful.
Yes, of course. Now, you know, this is essentially the fate of all middle managers.
I can't let them know how I do nothing all day.
You know, there is a phenomenon in larger organized structures where people will inevitably be promoted above their competency. Are you familiar with this concept?
Yes, the Peter Principle is what they call it.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. And it turns out in fantasy worlds, this is no exception. You will just be promoted out of your competency, and then everybody just kind of has to pretend that you're doing a good job. Yay, fantasy worlds. Okay.
Well, we got more of them coming up.
Yeah, we've got so many. Don't worry. Metaphor, re Fantasio, the very slightly Italian tinted fantasy world follow-up to Persona. I was really enjoying this. I got to the first big twist, and I thought that was cool. And then I played a little bit past that, and the game did something like really, really stupid and bad that I really didn't like. That kind of ruined the entire story for me. And so I just gave up. I just did not like the other elements enough to make up for how bad the story turned out.
Oh, man.
And this shit is like winning awards for writing and stuff, and it's getting its own manga and maybe an anime too.
Hollywood adaptation coming up.
I was really, really disappointed because there's some really cool stuff in that game. Like humans being the bad guys, these like horrifying monsters, and they're all based on what's his name? The absurdist painter.
Dolly?
No, not Dolly. Hieronymus Bosch. Excuse me. How could I forget? Yes, all the bad guys, the big boss bad guys, are based on Hieronymus Bosch paintings, which is just a really cool, interesting idea. It's such a shame that it turned out to suck.
I mean, yeah, it was cool when Berserk did it 20 years ago.
But this time, it's in a Persona game. Whoa. Pretty cool. Too bad about the rest of that stuff.
You know, Persona is one of those series where conceptually I like it. It has so much style that I'm very into. I've never finished one. I've never been able to finish one. I've tried several. I don't know. I have nothing against them, but I feel like I just have to put them in that category of maybe Persona, it just isn't for me.
It's one of those games where it feels bad to get to the end because, you know, the beauty of Persona is the freedom and the possibility space of all the like time management stuff. And as you approach the end of the semester or whatever, the possibility space, you can feel it closing in around you to the point where at the end of the game, you are just claustrophobic. You are pinned in by your own choices you made probably arbitrarily at the time. So it's funny that the game feels worse and worse as you get to the end. So I do understand. I still like those games. I finished 2 of them. Not this one, though.
Not this one. Okay, next we've got I am a transfer teacher at a school for monsters. It's just the plot of Scooby-Doo at Ghoul School. You know, man? It's about a cowardly, fearful wretch of a man, anxiety-ridden, has no control over his life, who gets, he messes up at his good human school that he was teaching at. I can't even remember what the big, like, thing that gets him transferred was. Like, maybe he gets in the middle of 2 students fighting or something like that. Anyway, he gets sent to teach at the freak school, basically. He gets sent to teach at public school.
No, he has to do the remedial classes.
Yeah. You know, it's... I guess could have been a lot worse. I thought that it was going to be a lot more about he's all the female students have a crush on him or something. But actually, it was just a bit more banal than that. In fact, it was just kind of like a regular school, and he would be occasionally freaked out by the physical appearance of a student.
Kind of fucked up.
Which it is messed up. Can't be doing that when you're a teacher. They're impressionable. They look up to you.
It's like going to your ESL class and your teacher's like, "Stop speaking Spanish."
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're saying.
No, it'd be more like if you went to an ESL class and the teacher was deathly afraid of the students that speak Spanish.
Oh God. Oh, topical. Okay. Yeah, that would suck. I read the first chapter of it. I didn't like it.
I watched the first episode of the anime, did not like it. So, moving on.
Tying the knot with an Amagami sister. Now, this wasn't an incest one?
No. This was... Well, I don't know. I only watched 1 episode, so I guess there was room for it to develop. No, this is the one about a dude who is studying to get into medical school, and he's like super serious and super focused on that one aspect of his life. And for some reason, he goes to live at a temple, I guess because they have cheap rent. And the 3 caretakers of the temple are 3 attractive sisters, and they all develop crushes on him over time. And he's like, "No, stay away from me, you sexy ladies. I only wish to study medicine." It's the joke of what was it? Castle Zoot or something from Monty Python.
Yes, yes.
It's just that joke over and over again. No, this was horrible. Do not recommend.
Sounds bad. Okay, Negi Pazzi Angler. You finished this one.
I did finish this one. I like this one a lot. This is
You
about
actually like this one.
A horrible, cowardly wretch of a human being, not fit to walk amongst real people, messes up his life, drops out of school, gets into gambling debt with the Yakuza, and gets taken in by a weird little clique of alternative lifestyle fishermen who teach him the joys of basically Hakuna Matata, you know?
Yeah.
It's the Hakuna Matata scene from Lion King.
Sure.
But extrapolated into an anime about fishing.
Yeah, and he dies of brain cancer, right?
Yeah, straight up dies of brain cancer.
Cool. Okay. Thumbs up. All right.
Yeah, it's great.
I love that. 365 days until the wedding.
This is another one of the spring or maybe fall premieres that I watched, and it was basically about two people who work in an office who pretend to be engaged to each other so that they can get more vacation time at work.
Which, again, is very close to the plot of the proposal.
It's also very close to the plot of Spaced, the Edgar Wright TV series from the 90s.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, with the faking of the relationship that kind of becomes real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This was, again, nothing more than anything. It wasn't like super offensive. It was a vehicle for your basic, rom-com, will they, won't they kind of wacky situation, perfect strangers kind of thing.
Yeah, it's mush.
Yeah, it's mush.
I will say,
It's slop.
I do want to say I like it because of the adults.
Yeah,
it's about adults.
Okay. I actually, you know what? I'm gonna be with you on this. I'm gonna give this my recommendation because everyone involved is over the age of 20.
Yeah, it's nice. Yakuza Fiance. This is the one about the girl from the minor Yakuza family being transferred up to. Is it Tokyo? I think she goes to Tokyo to the main branch family to marry one of the main branch Yakuza princes.
Yeah, she's from Osaka. He's from Tokyo.
Yeah.
Classic star-crossed lovers kind of thing.
Well, she hates him because he's a real fucking freak. And they almost immediately engage in some like weird psychosexual femdom shit.
Well, yeah, you're leaving out the part that they're both like sick freaks. The switcheroo that happens at the beginning of the series is that we think that she's going to be some kind of like damsel in distress kind of archetype character.
Sort of,
you
yeah.
know, someone who is caught up in a political situation and is being bandied around, which is true. But then very, very quickly, as soon as we learn that he's a sick freak, we learn that she's also like super into it in her own weird way.
Well, It is a weird romance manga, but she is a shonen protagonist who's like, I will muscle through based on my will alone, which is very weird. It's just a weird mix of things. I like it.
Yeah.
Not a huge amount, but
I think it's weird that she's a high school student, so no.
yeah, no, that is, I wish it wasn't. It's obviously they're not actually high school students. It just happens to be that they're set as high school students.
I don't buy that line of thinking.
Well, it's what happens. It's what happens when everything has to be set in a high school. It's like every CW show where it's like 26-year-olds all playing high school students.
That's different because they look
Orb
old.
on the movement of the earth.
Okay.
Orb on the movement of the earth. This is like the best thing. This is like the best thing in a while.
You've been going on about this one for basically since you started watching it.
I didn't know how much I was going to end up liking it, but it is a fucking revelation to me. This thing has really taken on a life of its own. It's really good. It's like really good. It's a show about heliocentrism that is both incredibly suspenseful, emotionally moving, horrific, hopeful, incredibly dramatic. It has everything. It's awesome.
Now, unfortunately, I am a pre-reformist Catholic and a flat earther, so I'm going to have to say no to this one.
Well, even if the Earth is a disc, it could be a spinning disc.
Yeah, it's a disc wakeboarding around the sun.
Yeah, you never know. Okay, fine. Demon Lord 2099. This is such a waste of potential. Even if I don't like the isekai trend with demon lords and all this bullshit, the idea that a demon lord wakes up in a cyberpunk world and has to just deal with the fact that he is no longer special is a good premise. It's fine. It's great. He could end up doing Blade Runner shit. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But no, it does not follow that trajectory.
No.
It just kind of collapses into mush. This one sucks.
In the bin it goes. Next, we've got...
All right.
Goodbye, Dragon Life.
Goodbye, Dragon Life, which is more about hello snake girl wife. Because the main character marries a snake girl. What are they called?
A Lamia? Is that what you're thinking of?
A Lamia, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the start of the story kind of hints at the fact that it's going to be about this guy who is an ancient dragon reborn into a human body, and about his struggles to overcome power and become a normal person and like enjoy the nice small touches of life. Obviously, it does not do that. It becomes more about a guy being a super badass and also being a Lamia wife guy. Which, hey, your mileage may vary. Do you like Lamia wife guys?
I mean, you have Monster Musume for that already.
Well, there's nobody gets married in Monster Musume. This is like literally like this dude's wife.
Oh, all right. Well,
and there's like persecution stuff too, because he ends up going to like Magic Harvard, but Magic Harvard is super racist.
So like regular Harvard?
Yeah, yes. Skull and Bones shit. And he's like, well, I'm super powerful, but if you guys don't want me around, me and my wife are going to go back to the countryside. And they're like, hold on. Hold up, buddy.
Never talk to me or my wife again.
Yeah, if she's your wife, I guess it's okay. It's a weird one. It's kind of also mush. There is a part of me that really likes Lamia wife guy. I have affection for that. It's just not very good.
Well, I'm you know how I feel about stuff that is just straight slop. As long as it makes you feel good, that's a yes from me.
The one thing I do like about it is it does like 18 different types of isekai shit over the course of, I don't know, what is it, like 80 chapters now? They do so many different types of isekai. I kind of like that. Okay, Look Back.
Yes.
Look Back.
Fujimoto's movie made from one of his short stories about a couple of friends who go on I guess it chronicles their creative journey together as they try and make comics. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome.
It's incredible. I cried in the theater. It's fantastic. Is this the third anime movie we watched on this list?
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. You gotta watch more anime movies. Look Back is insanely fucking good. Unfortunately, it is better than Chainsaw Man.
I don't think Fujimoto thinks about Chainsaw Man in terms of good or bad right now. I think he thinks about it in terms of I like getting a paycheck, man.
I like being paid for my work.
Yeah.
Okay, Lockdown Level X. This was basically a light box puppet show, basically. It's very weird. The episodes were like 5 minutes long. I don't know what to make of this. I only watched the first 2 episodes. It's baffling.
All right. I did not watch this at all, so I don't have any reference for exactly what you're talking about, so out of the way.
No opinion.
Next, we've got My Roomie is a Dino. And this is, of course, one of my deplorable Gyaru comics, except it's not actually one of the deplorable ones. It's one of the cuter ones. It's about, your standard kind of airheaded girl failure of a late 20s post-Gyaru. Kind of like in Super Baby, she used to be super into like the early 2000s aesthetic and then has modernized, and she's finding trouble fitting into modern society. And into her life comes a cute little cartoon dinosaur who just kind of like hangs around her apartment and eats her food. He's just a chill dude. He's just like a cool dude.
Yeah, this is one of those cohabitation Gyaru comedies. Sort of like Gyaru and Cthulhu.
Or more recently, Gyaru and Tsuchinoko. That's a currently running one that I've been reading.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Of course that exists.
Yep.
Lily Men. Weirdly named one. This is the one where it's Chainsaw Man, except for instead of devils, they are called succubuses, succubi. But unlike succubi in all other manga, these are not, well, they're not succubi.
They're not sexy ladies?
No, they're not. In fact, most of them aren't even ladies.
How very progressive of them.
They're blood manipulation monsters that look like people, but they turn into like blood manipulator monsters, much like Togen Anki, which the anime is just announced for that. This one's, of all the Chainsaw Man clones, this is my favorite one. It's very strange. It's really strange. The main character is raised in a succubus orphanage where they are trying to crossbreed humans and succubi to create like super powerful soldiers, except none of the kids know that. They just think they're in an orphanage. The main character breaks out. He does not know anything about modern life, so you get that fun gag where he doesn't know what a hamburger is. He's getting run over by buses and stuff.
What is smartphone?
Yeah, what is smartphone? I like it a lot. It's weird. It's melancholy. It's fun. It's playful in the way that Chainsaw Man's playful. It's really fucked up. It's got a good art style. I don't know. I like it a lot.
Next, we've got Tower Dungeon.
The absolute fucking goat. This is Nihei Tsutomu riding the dungeon train, except for, get it? Except for...
I get it now.
He is better than all of the other people who do this, so it is, by definition, better than all the other comics that are doing this. It is fucking awesome. It's so good. I love Nihei Tsutomu so much. This is his first, like, genuinely funny comic, too. Like, it is really funny. I love it. I love it. I love Tower Dungeon. This is must read.
Does this one, do we know if this is going to get an anime yet?
God, it's only got like 16 chapters.
Okay, so it's still new.
Yeah. As far as I know, Nihei Tsutomu's only got 2 anime. One for Knights of Sidonia and one recently for Blame.
The less we talk about the Blame anime, the better.
Yeah, the Blame one was not good. It wasn't even based on the comic. Like, it followed a completely different story. What the fuck? Anyway, whatever. Tower Dungeon is new. It's fucking great. Speaking of absolute goats, the next one is Doro Hey Doro.
Honestly,
what else is there to be said?
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite titles that I've ever read. It's so good. It looks amazing. The story is just like crazy and weird and heartwarming. I feel like
brutally heartwarming.
It is brutally heartwarming. I think that's a good way to put it. You know, Doro has this quality of really exemplifying friendship and overcoming adversity as part of a community as aspects that shine through this horrible, like, dirty muck world that they all live in.
Yeah, they live in hell and they find ways to live in it and find joy, which is incredible. Also, Q Hayashida is incredible. Read all of their comics. Their art style is like a fucking heavy metal that someone like wiped the ink around on the page.
Yeah. Yes.
It's fucking awesome. Read Die Dark. Die Dark is continuing to run. It's fucking great. It's the new one. Okay. Subotai must be destroyed. This is the one where the Japanese government launches a ICBM assault against a haunted house. This shit fucking kicks ass.
Hell yes.
It's so good.
Yes.
It's so good. It's by the dude who did Karakuri Circus. His art style is very strange. It's just awesome. It's fucking awesome. The entire world sends in their own military forces to destroy the haunted house, and they all fail because guess what? Haunted houses are more powerful than Spec Ops, guys.
I mean, isn't that the basic thesis that Dan is putting out right now? Actually, ghosts are more powerful than aliens. Haunted houses are more powerful than missiles. It makes perfect sense.
It's true. It's true. And I agree.
Speaking of ghosts, we've got 100 ghost stories of my own death.
Yeah, this one is really interesting. This is a horror, a kind of urban legend horror anthology. But what makes it unique is that The Rapper story is about a kid who is, for some reason, compelled to tell the 100 ghost stories. So every chapter begins with like 1 or 2 pages and ends with 1 or 2 pages of the kid's story, which is almost like a found footage. It's almost kind of shot in a found footage way, which is a weird way to describe a manga. But he comes in, he sits at his desk. The only perspective we ever have of him is him sitting at his desk in his room, telling us the ghost stories.
Well, this is...
And the ghost stories themselves are fine. They're interesting. They're kind of pretty standard Japanese horror stories. But the countdown and the Rapper story countdown to this like final conclusion is incredibly compelling. It's such a good hook.
Well, they're doing a like an Are You Afraid of the Dark, right? Or Tales from the Crypt.
Yes.
Kind of thing, except they're doing like a wraparound kind of bumper story thing.
Yeah, except the bumper story is really compelling and it's starting to get really strange. We're almost at the end.
Imagine if the VHS series had like a continuing bumper story from the first one to the current one, and it was way better than all of the vignettes in between.
Yeah, well, the first few kind of are connected. They're about the tapes moving around, and then they just abandon that idea. Okay, Shikabane Kaigo. Now we're really getting off track.
Yeah, I don't even remember this one.
This is a really weird one. I couldn't find any more than 4 chapters of this. It's about an at-home caretaker who moves to the middle of nowhere in Japan to take care of this woman. When she gets there, the staff are really cagey about all the details. When she finally meets the woman, she realizes the woman they have been caretaking for years is dead.
Go.
It's some fucking psycho shit.
Well, that's like...
It's like Mom.
Yeah, that's almost Hitchcockian, That's
It
kind
is.
of like... reminds me a little bit of like Rebecca,
Of Rebecca.
Yeah.
The one about the thief?
No, the one about the lady that is getting married to the guy and like all the staff and all the stuff around the house is just still like reminds him of his dead wife. Everyone keeps talking about his dead first wife. You know that one?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's Vertigo, too.
It is Vertigo. You're right.
Yeah, it's really weird. Art style's great. It's a shame that I could only find like 4 chapters of it because I love that story. It's so great. It's very hard to find horror manga that is just that kind of concept. Like, low concept, great execution stuff is hard to find. Okay.
Now we've got
Murai
in Love. This is one that I watched.
Great.
Yeah. So it's going to be quality. This was the one about the teacher at a high school who is obsessed with dating games, otome games, or whatever the female marketed equivalent of it is.
Otome.
Sexy prince games. Her high school age student in her class who has decided that he is in love with her and is going to reshape his entire personality to conform to her dating game fave character.
Yes, and I just want to say, look, we all went through that phase in our life where we completely reconfigured our personality and looks to attract one of our sexy teachers, but that's not good.
You shouldn't glorify it. It's not something that you should
glorify it.
Be proud of.
It's like Stephen King's Rage. It's like, let's leave that kind of thing in the past. Yeah, I hate this one.
Yeah, I hate this. It made me feel weird. Bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
One Piece.
Okay.
Fan letter.
One Piece. Fan letter. This is another Netflix One Piece spinoff, much like 103 Dragon, 103 Mercy Dragon, whatever the fuck that one was called. This one is about a little girl in the port town right before they go to Fishman Island. She is trying to deliver to Nami a fan letter she wrote saying that Nami has given her hope as like a little girl that she can also do adventures. It's just a tight little piece of incredibly overachieving animation. Just an absolute fucking like, hey, I'm making this for my real kind of shit. Like absolutely flexing. The story is very simple. There's a lot of great Easter eggs for fans of One Piece, but mostly it's just a short story that looks great.
I mean, you love it when stuff looks good. It's like
It looks
one of the
good.
main appeals of the whole medium.
Sometimes you just want to watch something that has like great animation in it.
Okay,
Speaking of,
yeah. Speaking of,
Netflix's Arcane, and this was specifically season 2. Man, I don't like League of Legends.
I don't like League of Legends either.
I mean,
I don't like MOBA games.
I think I've made myself clear. I am a Dota guy, so obviously I have inherent bias here. But also, this is filled with great animation and a script and direction that just utterly fails that quality of animation at every turn. Like, man, whoa, boy, wasted potential. Jesus Christ.
Well, continuing on the trend of highlighting good animation, we've got Studio Sciencearu, Ping Pong, the animation.
It's got animation right there in the title.
Yeah, enough said. No, this is great. This is Masaki Yuasa's stuff. One of his first full 12-episode series that he produced with Saru. It's weird. It's like got very impressionistic, non-standard anime style character design. Everything is painted in these beautiful flowing watercolors over hand sketch designs. It's amazing. It's great. And who doesn't love ping pong?
Masaki Yuasa, the god. I was just thinking about Devilman Crybaby again.
Hell yeah.
And it just gives me shivers. It's so great. And I was thinking, it's sort of like, what if Spawn went all the way with that concept? You know what I mean? What if they took Spawn to the actual logical conclusion? That's kind of Devilman Crybaby.
What if Spawn was owned and operated by somebody other than Todd McFarlane? The places we could have gone.
Hey, I don't know if it's entirely his fault. He's a product of his time and his generation, The man wrote Spider-Mans.
The man created Venom. How much more do I have to say?
The man created Venom, the highly acclaimed trilogy of movies starring Tom Hardy.
All right, well, just getting the Masaki Yuasa stuff out of the way, we've also got Tatami Galaxy, which is a series that he had produced before he founded Sciencearu. It's great. It's great. Awesome. It looks
awesome.
really cool.
It looks cool.
It's about a time-traveling college student. Masaki Yuasa is the man.
He's the god.
Go watch all of his stuff.
This is a direct prequel to Walk On Girl, The Night Is Long, which is a perfect animation movie.
I mean, it's not even just a perfect anime movie. It is a perfect movie. It
is also a perfect movie.
Just a perfect movie.
They don't make too many of those.
Just Tremors and that. Those are the only two.
Oh, yeah. And apparently Gremlins, too.
And Gremlins, too. That is actually a perfect movie.
Yeah, people really like that one. Okay, Super Ball Girls. This is a tough one. I've been reading Super Ball Girls. I still like it. It's gotten predictably very out of control. Super Ball Girls is by the guy who did, unfortunately, Prison School.
Oh, no.
This is Hiramoto Akira, who also luckily did other stuff like Futari Switch and Raw Hero, which, there's some stuff. There's some stuff going on.
He's working through some things.
There's some things, but I still really like it. He has an incredible grasp on visual gags. He can tell a joke using his art, which people can't always pull off very well. He's really good at it, and his art is just great in general. And he allows his stories to just work themselves out in very strange ways, which I really appreciate. This stuff is, it's maybe not for the faint of heart. Super Ball Girls is fucking insane. It is about a concept that we talked about not too distantly, the sort of girl in the box, but the girl in the bed.
Just girl in the bed.
Do you remember we talked about that pretty recently?
Yeah.
Like Chobits, the girl who just appears naked in your bed to fulfill all your most degenerate sexual wishes.
Yeah.
This one is sort of a parody of that, where what if that happened, but it was actually the most nightmarish scenario you could imagine, because that's actually really fucking scary. It's cool. It's really good. I really like it.
Let me tell you, you rarely ever want to wake up with a naked person you don't know in your bed.
Also, they're not people. They are combat aliens.
Well, let's not get into saying who and who isn't a person.
You know, they're illegal aliens, but like in the real way.
Okay, now
Jesus
we've
Christ.
got up next Pseudo Harem.
Yikes.
Yeah, this one is about a girl who lacks a personality, and I mean that in a pathological sense, because she's in a drama club. She attaches herself to just your kind of standard high school slack off, like no real redeeming qualities kind of jerk, and decides that she's going to use her acting abilities to basically become various harem anime girl character archetypes, and just kind of like code switches between all of those at any given moment, trying to make this loser like just happy in general.
Yeah. She's a manic pixie dream girl, but all of them at the same time.
I hate it. It was awful.
It's awful. It's terrible.
Yeah. Okay. What about now? Did we ever agree on this? Are video games anime?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Like Metaphor Re Fantasio is 100% anime.
What about
Stalker 2 is not necessarily anime, but it is something we talked about.
We did talk about it.
Stalker.
Stalker.
Cheeky bariki.
You know what? I did not play a whole lot of Stalker 2. It was too janky, even for me.
I played a lot of Stalker 2. It ended up with me trying to install a bunch of mods to kind of make the game more stable and increase the efficacy of the A-Life stuff. I have not played it since the last few rounds of big updates. I am probably going to get back to it at some point, but it's it's weird. I like it because there's still nothing quite like it, but it's not Stalker 1 and it's not Anomaly, so I don't know. Nah.
Okay, well, speaking of video games that are anime, I'm going to count Stardew Valley in there. I played a lot of that last year. I liked it. I think it's fine.
Yes.
I wouldn't even call it slop. I think it's just a really well-made game. It makes you feel good.
I think it seems like people really like it. It's got to be a no for me, dog, because it is pro-capitalist.
It is that, unfortunately. But it does at least let you invest that capital back into your community and see direct results. It's anti-tax.
Yeah, well, let's not get too deep into theory, but it is a game that promotes Western chauvinism. Noja. This was one of my intros to my series on visual novels, which I have been continuing. We'll get back around to that. Noja is a really interesting one because it is a visual novel, but it is also just a sequence of simulated wolf game.
Okay.
So much like Traitors, the reality show that's going on right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay.
It's good. It's wolf game.
You mean Mafia? There's
There's an anime announcement pretty recently, so everybody's going to get to enjoy it without having to play it.
Hey, I like that.
Kind of the ultimate end state of all visual novels. It's cool.
Wait, is an anime just a visual novel you don't have to play?
Or read. Yeah.
All right. Well, we said we'd come back to it at a later date, and I guess that's now. We've got Gundam G-Cucks.
Yeah, which we jumped the gun on because we should have maybe waited until we watched the movie. I watched the movie. I really liked it. I want to get into it in more depth when the series actually launches. But needless to say, this is not what I was expecting in any way. I was not expecting this to tie directly into UC. I thought this was going to be more Witch from Mercury style, where it's sort of its own continuity. It is not. This is UC, baby.
With Anno involved, you really should have expected some kind of timeline twist or something like that.
I know, he's really pulling some serious bullshit, but I liked the movie. I liked the movie.
All right.
Some of the Gundams are 3D, though.
No, I don't like that.
Okay.
Okay, next up, we've got all of Shonen Jump.
Well, you know what? It's really hard to say. You know, they've got One Piece and Hunter x Hunter, but they've also got
All that other stuff,
the
too.
vast majority of all the worst manga ever made. So, man, really hard to say. This is a really tough one.
No, I can't put my weight behind it.
I'm going to have to go yes.
You're going to have to go yes on this.
I'm going yes.
You think the good makes up for the monumental mountain of bad?
You know, I will take 100,000 bad manga if we eventually get to Hunter x Hunter.
All right. What about Blood Lad?
Blood Lad. This is one of the most baffling things I have ever read. This was the story about female empowerment where at the end, the male protagonist climbs inside the girl to finish off the main boss. Oh, wow. What is there to say about Blood Lad except what the fuck? Huh.
I think there may be some symbolism going on there.
Man, I don't know. I don't know, man.
All right. I watched 22/7 or Nanabun no Nijuni, which is...
Oh, of course.
Yeah, everyone's heard of that one.
Yeah, that one.
No, this is the anime about a girl idol group. So already off to a bad start. Do not condone that as a general setting or premise for any kind of story.
Yeah, we have got to lay down on that.
This is about the girl idol group that was clandestinely put together by an alien consciousness that resides under a zoo and is manipulating the entire Japanese government for the purpose of creating this girl group.
Right. It is the monolith from 2001, and
Yes.
the way it is forcing human evolution is by creating girl groups.
You know what? As a regular anime, I'd have to say no, but I did watch this specifically as a Christmas story.
Sure.
Which they do go heavy on the theming. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up as a Christmas time classic.
Yeah. The girl group should have been called Destiny's Child.
Unfortunately, they ran into some unfortunate licensing issues on that
There
one.
were some big names throwing their weight around that stopped that particular one.
Yeah. Speaking of forced evolution, Dune Prophecy.
Dune, the sci-fi fantasy series famous for being extraordinarily pro-eugenics. Dune Prophecy is about the evil feminism pope defeating the men's rights activists. This is a weird one. I don't know if I hate it. I think I'm tainted because I liked it a lot more than the movies.
I did not watch this series, but man, I kind of really hated the movies.
Just don't like those movies. I like that one scene from the beginning of the second one where those guys jump. That touched my heart.
Yeah, okay.
I like that part. I just cannot comment on the rest of it. And what's his name? James Austin Johnson? That's not his name.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's the guy, right? I get him and Austin Butler mixed up constantly.
No, Austin Butler is the one that was in Dune.
Okay, Austin Butler. Yes, the Elvis Presley one.
Yes.
What is going on with that guy? What is up with that?
I don't know. Stop trying to make it happen, because he ain't going to happen, man.
It's weird. Okay. 100 Years of Solitude. This is a Netflix show that is an adaptation of one of the singularly most important literary magical realism novels ever written, one of the most important South American novels ever written. This was a long time coming. I don't know how they got Netflix to make a good adaptation of this book, but against all odds, they made a good adaptation of 100 Years of Solitude. Mind-blowing. This is really, really good.
Yeah, but it's not anime.
An anime version of 100 Years of Solitude would probably whip. If you're not going to read the book, which I suspect you're not,
No.
this is unmissable. I'm talking to you.
I'll take your word for it, I guess.
I'm talking to you. Okay. Moving on from an actually good thing.
Oh, this is from my Christmas kick. Santa Department Midsummer Merriment.
Yay.
Which, kind of a tease, not really a Christmas story because it took place in the middle of summer on a beach in a tropical island. I don't know about you, but nothing about that description screams Christmas to me. This was the anime that was a sequel to Santa Department, the anime about little kids in a Harry Potter school training to be Santa's helpers. Not Santa. As we all know, there are 3 eternal, immortal Santas that come together to form the triumvirate of Christmas cheer.
Right, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah. No, we have Serious Santa, we have Jolly Santa, and we have Surfin' Santa. Those are the 3 Santas. and
God, I hate Surfing Santa, the Australian Santa. I hate him so much.
No, I love Surfing Santa. He's great.
No, I hate him.
This is about little kids picking up trash on an island during not Christmas, and the trash turns into a big monster that they need to get Santa to fight for them.
Great.
As good as that description sounds, I'm going to have to say no on this one.
Well, I hate Surfing Santa, so I'm also a no. Okay, Sakamoto Days. Now, a lot has been made about how the anime really disappointed the people who actually like it. I feel like I was disappointed from day one because I did not think the gag works even in the first chapter of the manga. After watching the first episode, I had to go back and reread some of it to make sure that, like, maybe the manga was just as bad as the anime. No, the manga, despite not just liking it in general, the manga is still a good action manga. You know, it's just doing John Wick stuff, but like, it's really well drawn. The action scenes are really well paneled. This is purely on the anime. They just fucked up. Like, straight up, they just fucked it up.
You hate to see it happen, but it happens.
You hate to see it happen.
Okay. Tokyo Ghoul. I have not read this one. I've heard some good things. It's it went on and then it ended and then it came back. At least the manga. They did like a re-ghoul, right?
Tokyo Ghoul Re.
Yeah.
Actually, they did do this with the anime too. Speaking of like anime that kind of just fucked up, I disliked the anime so much. I almost refused to even read this manga. I'm so glad that I was not obstinate enough to deprive myself from the pleasure of actually reading this, because Ishida Sui he's a manga god. He's like Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Easy Hall of Famer. He's a Babe Ruth candidate for sure. He's one of the best to ever do the shit. And the manga is so insanely good, and it is just like, it stomps the anime out. I don't even know why they bothered to do the anime, because it could not begin to capture like 1/10 of the power contained in Ishida Sui's art. It's a joke. It's a real joke. Read Tokyo Ghoul, people.
Okay. Honey Lemon Soda. We both watched this one, right? You watched that too?
We both watched this one.
Yeah.
It's very funny. I was just before the show talking about a manga about mangaka where one of the shoujo authors is caught in a depression spiral because she is forced by her editor to write stuff like Honey Lemon Soda, and it is making her too depressed to live. Yeah, I really did not like this one.
Yeah, this is about a high school girl who has anxiety to the point of being unable to function and requires the attention of the 2 hottest boys in school to fight over her to be able to, like, literally do anything, like speak or walk or be conscious, it seems.
She allows the cool boy that she's into to essentially puppet around her body, sort of like what happened in Bloodlad, but more in an emotional metaphor for this. Very strange. Did not like it.
Didn't like it.
Also, the animation wasn't very good. Okay, what do we got? Oh, man. We're catching up here.
We're about halfway through.
Ubelblatt. Damn. This was a supposed dark fantasy, which got my hopes up because I've been waiting for an actual dark fantasy, like anime or manga, that's not just like isekai coded. This one is light on the isekai elements, I have to be honest, but
it's there.
It is also light on anything that is good. It's just bad.
Ubelblatt's the sound that I make when I watch this anime.
You said Ubelblatt?
Ubelblatt.
You muttered that to yourself under your breath.
It sounds like someone gagging. That's I was trying to make an allusion to that.
Does?
It sounds blah. Kind of like that. Like a blah.
Blah. Like ooble blah.
Ooh, blah.
Blag.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sure. Okay. Zenshu.
This is the isekai about the most renowned young animator in the industry getting sucked into their favorite work from when they were a child and
Subsequently destroying that work.
yeah, confusingly, their isekai power is the ability to rewrite the story that they fell in love with already, like as a child. It doesn't make sense to me. If you like something, if you really appreciate something and it had a deep impact on you, why would you then be super excited about going in and being able to change all of the story beats to like the most bland feel-good option that you could come up with? Because that's what it is.
Yeah, I found this hilarious, the concept and also that execution in particular, because we are living in an era where we have writers and directors out here constantly rebooting their supposed childhood classic favorites. But instead of doing what she does, which is like completely rewrite the story, they just write a new, slightly worse version of the thing that they loved as a kid. We're talking about these live action Disney versions. We're talking about the recent Alien Romulus. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of these right now.
So many.
There was a Texas Chainsaw version that I just absolutely hated.
Well, we have that upcoming Camp Crystal Lake for Jason,
Yes.
That's in the works still.
It is the first Friday the 13th reboot since the original 2000s era.
The 2009 one, yeah.
Which was just awful.
Okay, Mahotsukai no Yakusoku.
This one's English title was Promise of Wizard, I believe.
Wizard Promise.
This is a magical girl, reverse harem isekai, and it cannot even execute on that concept correctly. It is gacha. It is a gacha game in anime form. That's it.
Well, all right.
Awful.
Speaking of terrible, the girl I like is from Okinawa, but I can't understand her accent.
So did he never figured it out?
Nope, never figured it out. And they even
Damn.
give him a straight up pass. Like the narrator gives him a pass in the anime. They just say like, it takes 5 to 7 years of intense study to be able to understand the Okinawa dialect fluently. So don't worry.
That cannot be true. That can't be true.
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't speak Japanese or Okinawan Japanese, so I have to take their word for it.
They gave him the Okinawa pass.
Yep.
He's got an Okinawa pass.
This is mush, but I did finish the season, so
Jesus Christ. I can't believe he never learned how to understand her dialect.
Never even tried.
The girl I like who forgot her glasses, at least he helps her to remember to bring her glasses.
Until he stops because he realizes that he likes her better without their glasses.
Yeah, there is sort of a Princess Diaries thing happening in that, which is weird.
Ooh, okay, this next one's you.
Ban Vampire, which is being advertised on the front page of Netflix, despite being a very classic anime vampire trope of being a pedophile.
Don't like it.
Anime vampires tend to be pedophiles, as we discussed in the episode.
About vampires.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Very bad. Mm-hmm. Very bad. Do not watch.
Don't do it. Don't recommend.
Yeah, you don't want this in your Netflix history. I promise you.
Not with the coming purges.
Yeah, not with the new laws. You will be visited. Tasokare Hotel. This was about a girl stuck in limbo, in a very literal limbo, who is helping poor souls move on. This is cutesy anime, Dante's Inferno, kind of.
I think, that premise by itself has legs. I don't think that's bad.
No, it doesn't. And the premise itself has been executed in the past in other ways that I do think it's fine. It's all right. This is another version of it that I think is fine. I kind of like that the main girl in it, who becomes like an afterlife detective, is constantly in denial of her own murder. I like that. That's kind of fun. right?
There was a movie that came out a few years ago that was basically the same premise. A girl stuck, in ghost limbo, essentially has to solve her own murder.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was called. Anyway,
in this case, she refuses. She actively refuses to solve her own murder because she wants to solve other people's, and she just really doesn't want to deal with it. Seems like a pain, which is funny. It's funny. Otherwise, it's kind of like a
yeah. Okay. Next is
oh boy, Jesus Christ,
Momentary Lily.
Momentary Lily. This was the one about the girls with over animated hair and body parts backdooring a kitchen show into an apocalypse, a Maho Shoujo apocalypse. Wow. For as much as that has going on as a premise, it doesn't really care. It's just cute girls eating food in between kaiju fights. I don't know.
That appeals to me on so many different checkpoint lists, and yet I still feel nothing.
Yeah, man, this is a weird one. Since its premiere, it has become notorious. Lots of people are posting the GIFs of the girls who have seemingly anti-gravity boobs. And even for an industry and art style that has been continuously pushing the idea of semi-sentient breasts, this one is notorious.
I call it the Stellar Blade effect.
Yeah. Man, it's weird. Bad.
Okay.
Jeez. No Gyaru's in the classroom. Wow. They just don't allow them.
First of all, the title is very misleading because there are, in fact, at least one Gyaru in the classroom, definitively. No, this is a little high school, I guess what we call slice of life kind of thing. It's about two losers, a boy and a girl who, were nerds, didn't have any friends in middle school. Nobody knew them. Nobody talked to them. They weren't part of any cliques. And they get into high school and both decide to totally reinvent their characters.
Sure.
But in this case, instead of reinventing themselves to appeal to their adult teacher, they just reinvent themselves to be outgoing, friendly people. And I think that's nice. I liked it. I like this one. I've been keeping up with it.
It is nice. Yeah. I mean, what's more relatable than that?
I mean, I can't relate. I didn't have any friends in high school. I'm
appalled to hear you say that. The amount of work I put in to get you friends. really find this disappointing. Okay, I have a crush at work, parentheses, can you keep a secret? Did they keep it a secret?
They did not. I mean, depends on how you define who they were keeping it a secret from. Essentially, at this point, the only people they're keeping it a secret from is HR. Because as we all know in Japan, you can be fired for having a consenting adult relationship, apparently.
Man, Japan sounds rough. This is the exact opposite of the other one, where instead of pretending to be in a relationship, they are pretending not to be in a relationship.
Yes, they are pretending to not be in a relationship when they very much are, very obviously are. For no discernible reason other than apparently it's just super embarrassing to have people know that you're dating someone.
to be straight.
Yeah.
It's really embarrassing to be a heterosexual couple in Japan right now.
I do have to give it a props once again for having a cast that is comprised entirely of adults.
Yes. I will give it props for that too, even though it does not treat its audience as adults.
Oh boy, speaking of treating its audience as adults, I'm a behemoth, an S-ranked monster, but mistaken for a cat, I live as an elf girl's pet.
Great. Now this is the isekai fantasy version of, what was her name? Inukai-san's dog?
Yes. Same exact thing. It's about a monster who gets defeated and reincarnated as a cat, but not really a cat because they're still a super powerful monster. And it lives as a sexy elf girl's pet. And I think maybe she wants to do stuff to that cat. It's not great.
She wants to do stuff to the cat.
She wants to do stuff to that cat that ain't natural.
She is interested in the cat, in not a pet owner relationship style.
It's awful. I hate it. 0 stars.
Jesus Christ. Okay, all right. Penguin Drum, which it conjures so many anime penguins in my mind that I forget which one this was.
The full title is actually Maworu Penguin Drum. And this is about the 3 siblings, 2 twin brothers and their younger sister. And one day, they're orphans, of course. And one day they're at the zoo and the sister just drops dead. She is dead.
Oh, yeah. Right. Dead sister
and is
one.
brought back to life by an alien consciousness that is living inside of like a gaudy souvenir penguin-shaped hat. And the penguin hat alien consciousness, using their sister's body as a puppet, says, I'll bring your sister back to life if you help me find this thing called the penguin drum. And it kind of sets off a ongoing conspiratorial whodunit mystery of them trying to figure out what the penguin drum is, who the alien is who wants it, and encountering other mysterious individuals who are trying to hamper them from acquiring it. I like
Absolutely.
it. I liked it. I watched the whole series, and it was weird, and it took weird turns. And unfortunately, it is not comprised of adults, and they do some weird stuff along the way.
No.
But
oh god!
But overall, I think it's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
And does any character at any point say, "If you don't bring me the artifact right now, I will beat your ass like a penguin drum"?
No, the alien consciousness does frequently refer to the twin brother characters as like. She's repeatedly calling them stuff like you're nobody, you'll never amount to anything, you're a total waste of space.
I do really like that.
Just like constantly insulting them while also giving them commands.
Just negging the main characters constantly.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny.
I do like that. I really do like that. Okay. Love Eater Girls.
Yes.
This is, of course, the series about Love Eater Girls.
Not to be confused with succubuses, who are blood demons, apparently.
These are not succubuses. They're not succubi. Very importantly, they don't have sex. Love eating is just a kind of kissing thing. It's purely first base. These girls, for some reason, have all become attracted to one guy. There's 5 girls who are all attracted to one guy. I guess because he gives off like the most powerful virgin energy ever.
And women love that, you know.
Well, according to the fantasy of this manga, someone's first love is the most powerful one. Which, you know, I mean, wasn't true for me, but like
I mean, it worked out for me.
Yeah, you motherfucker. That is not how it usually happens. That's not how it usually happens for most people.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Oh, god damn it. So there are 5 girls trying to get with this guy. It turns out that he figures out for some reason that 4 of them are these love eater girls who, when they kiss you, will eat all of the love of your life.
But one of them is just a real girl who's into him.
Yeah, exactly. Which is something driving this love-starved virgin fully insane. The only way he can differentiate them is that the love eater girls all have that sick ass body mod split tongue thing going on.
Which, that's like a whole other thing I'm not sure I quite agree with.
I know, it's real.
Saying that body mod stuff is synonymous with demons.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like it. I think it's cool. And he has a real hard time at first coming up with scenarios where you could look at a girl's tongue. And, you know, I thought about it, and you know what? Yeah, actually, that does seem kind of hard. How do you get a girl to show you her tongue?
Well, do you just go up to her and say, hey, I'm the tongue inspector?
Just inspecting your tongue. Can you stick it out for me? Actually, the scenario I came up with, and this isn't something he figures out, is Jolly Ranchers.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
you share Jolly Ranchers. You go, hey, look, my tongue is all green because I ate the green apple one. What about you? I gave you blue raspberry. Can I see? And then she has to do it, right?
Real ingenuity moment there. I like that.
Of course, I'm not Japanese. I've never been to Japan. I don't know if that would work over there. Do they do the like fun colored tongue thing? Have they ever eaten fun dip? I don't know. I don't know how it works over there.
No, they have laws against that.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, I really like it. I'm still reading it. We have taken some really strange turns, but I am enjoying it very much.
Oh boy, okay. This list just keeps going on and on.
It just keeps going. There's a lot.
NPCs in this village sim game must be real. Were they real?
They were real. I mean, as far as I could tell, they were basically real.
All right.
Have you ever wanted to play The Sims, but for real?
No, I've never wanted to play The Sims.
Then you're not a Sims pervert. The real Sims perverts would be so into this shit.
You know who you are. We know you.
Yeah, you know who you are. That new version of The Sims is coming out soon, and it really seems like it is custom built for the Sims perverts. I'm interested to see how it turns out. I think it's called Inzoi.
Ugh.
Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't.
It is a non-Sims life simulation game.
But it's not Second Life.
It is not Second Life. No, Second Life is not like The Sims at all. What are you talking about?
It could be.
This dude wasn't on the internet when he was young. It shows so much. You are not a digital native, Nate.
No, I'm an interloper. I'm a colonist.
You are colonizing the digital native space by not playing Second Life and getting really into role-playing as an adult when you were 12. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I like it. It's cool. The guy, it's about a NEET, a shut-in, a hikikomori, putting his life together through playing The Sims. It's cool, right?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
yeah.
Welcome to the NHK did it kind of the same thing, but I can see where they're going.
Yeah, I like this one because it's sweet. The guy repairs his relationship with his sister and his dad, who he had kind of become estranged from because he failed to leave the nest.
Sure.
I like that. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice to see someone overcome that in a manga where usually they do not, or they do it by becoming a fucking superhero.
Yeah. Like, what was that one? I my new ability in another world made me awesome in this world too.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
Okay, Casino Gui.
Gui.
Do you like death games that are gambling games?
I can't say that I do, Jeff.
If you like Kaiji, you will like Casino Gui. I don't know what else to say about it. If you like Usugoi, if you like The Black Swindler, if you like Liar Game, you will like Casino Gui.
All right.
If you like Rain Man, you will like Casino Gui.
If you like Casino, you'll like Casino Gui.
You will like Casino Gui. I promise you. It's good. If you like Indecent Proposal, you will like Casino Gui. It's great. Really well drawn, and it's hard to find stuff that the artist has done since, which is a real bummer.
Okay. Nightmare on Elm Street, the manga. I think it goes without saying that this is a big yes from both of us.
It's hard to find stuff that is better than 80s horror movies adapted into manga.
It's amazing. I'm going to put this in the same category as the Jurassic Park manga.
Oh, absolutely.
And the the Jeeves and Wooster manga adaptation.
Yeah, that one's a bit of a departure from that theme, but still great. I've been sitting on the Les Mis manga adaptation. I'm gonna read that soon.
Hell yes. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, Babel 2. This is, of course, you will remember the manga about the immortal super guy who declares war on all of America.
And his talking magical panther friend.
Yes, his talking magical panther and his two super mechs. Yeah. And he does it. He goes to war with all of America.
And he wins.
He's dope. There's no one cooler than Babel 2. Not even his older brother Babel 1. It fucking rules. What else can I say?
All right. 80s anime. We've got some Gunsmith Cats. I like this
What
one.
a classic.
I like this one a lot. This is about the two mercenary / gun dealer ladies who live in the dystopian future of 1980s Chicago. And they go around and they flirt with criminals, and they shoot at police, and they get busted by undercover feds, and they shoot those guys too. It's cool. A lot of fun animation.
Yeah.
A lot of very, very in-depth, very lovingly recreated like 70s and 80s cars driving around in every scene. I thought this was dope. I liked it a lot. It's a shame it was only 3 episodes.
Do you like Cutie Honey? Do you like Cat's Eye? What else? Do you like Dirty Pear?
Yeah, Dirty Pear, Mega Tokyo. Wait, not Mega Tokyo, Bubblegum Crisis.
Mega Tokyo. Bubblegum Crisis, yes. If you like those, you will like Gunsmith Cats.
Yeah, for sure. Continuing with the 80s from our 80s episode, I watched Outlanders, which is an OVA movie about a Earth photographer who gets chosen as the new husband of an alien warrior princess.
Oh, right.
It's like Urusei Yatsura meets heavy metal, basically.
This is the bad Urusei Yatsura.
Yeah, this is not your mother's Urusei Yatsura.
Or
it was fine. Yeah, it was very. You can tell it was a very truncated version of a longer running manga. It had some cool animation. It had some very bad animation. Overall, it was a very straightforward story of a guy who wants to marry a girl and her dad doesn't like him, except that her dad is an alien warlord. I don't know. It was, I guess it was worth 40 minutes. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this was very similar to the other touchstone besides Urusei Yatsura that sprang to mind for me. I'm sure we've talked about this at some point, but Takeda-san, who did the Gleipnir manga, also wrote a story about essentially this, except the only twist is that when the alien comes to Earth to pick up his bride, the first person he sees is a high school boy who he immediately, using magic, turns into a girl and then kidnaps. Wow. What the hell? What was going on there?
The 80s were wild, man. There were no rules.
Man, there were no rules. Actually, that was early 2000s, but yeah. It was crazy.
Basically the 80s. I don't know.
I love Gleipnir. So, Takeda-san, you are forgiven.
All right. Okay. I'm not meat.
This is another one of yours.
Yeah.
I am not meat.
I liked this one, actually. This is the manga about, and it's finished. It was like 30 chapters or something, so fairly short. This is the manga about the guy who works for an ad agency, and he is actually medically afraid of women. Whenever he talks to a woman, he full-on hallucinates that they are some kind of bloodthirsty predatory animal trying to eat him, trying to kill him. And the one girl in his ad agency that he works with, who is technically his boss, I want to throw out there again. So that makes it kind of weird.
Man.
But he's the only one that doesn't elicit this kind of reaction from him. And it's kind of more of an adult rom-com kind of thing of him trying to get over this fear while being aggressively pursued by these women, to the point where a lot of the stuff that they do to him is assault. It's assault.
It seems weird.
Yeah.
Did we? Okay, I don't know. I don't remember if I asked it at the time, but do we ever establish what happened to him to make this a thing?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, and I don't think it was good. I think when he was a little kid,
probably
he walked in on his mom and dad having sex and tried to block out the memory by like doing the Odd Taxi thing of obsessively reading a book about like predatory animals, and that crossed some wires. Yeah,
the wires were crossed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not that bad. I thought like something really bad happened.
No, nothing that bad. Okay. I mean, it's not great. It's pretty Freudian in the long run.
Yeah, but, considering
everything.
Considering all the stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked the premise. It had a strong start, but it got a little weird for me at the end. Let's just leave it at that.
Little weird. Okay. Destroy all of humanity. It can't be regenerated.
Yes.
Did you finish reading this?
I did. Yeah, I caught up on this one. I like this one a lot.
The Magic the Gathering
manga,
full-length manga advertisement. Mm-hmm. How was the end?
It's still ongoing. It's still ongoing, dude.
Oh, it's still going. Oh, that's right. It's still going.
Yeah.
I forgot. It's for some reason, since it's set in the 90s, I keep thinking it was from like the 2000s or something.
And to be honest, they don't stick with that. I don't know if this counts as spoilers or not, but there are some time jumps.
Oh, no, don't tell me they skipped to when he's like a 30-year-old guy playing Magic. Oh, God, please.
Yeah, well, you should read more. You should read more.
Oh, no. Okay, fine. I'll keep reading it.
I like this one. I'm going to recommend it.
I like this one, too. Isekai Executioner. This one is somehow also still going. I kind of like it in the way that I talked about in the episode where it's a bit of a subversion that I enjoy. The guy is not a serial killer enough. That's my big problem.
This is the one about the serial killer that gets brought in to kill the other isekai heroes.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. He is isekai'd into a world where the other isekai heroes have become corrupted by power. In order to stop him from being corrupted by power, he is given no cheat skills, which is fun.
He's not Sigma male enough for you, is what you're saying.
Well, he loses the Dark Triad energy like pretty fast because, he's supposed to be the hero. And I guess they just couldn't take it to make the hero like an actual serial killer. They can't keep the Dexter energy up. It's still all right. It's just, I wish it was more Dexter. Mm-hmm. In a similar vein, we have Exo Drive Reincarnation Games. This is the one, much like one I just actually read, where it's sort of humanity has moved beyond isekais, where isekaiing itself has become a game that people play. Which is really fucked up.
Yeah.
Really fucked up.
Yeah. Okay, I remember you talking about this one. I like that concept,
I like it too, and I like this manga.
All these isekais are based around Dragon Quest anyway, right?
This one is you get isekai'd in a tournament setting, and you have to defeat the Demon Lord before your opponent does. And it's great. It's just structured as a traditional sports or like boxing anime, sort of like a Baki even. But the fighting is isekaiing. It's very weird. I like it. Too bad it only ever did like one full game and then I guess never continued again.
Well,
which makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
I like it. Boku no Nakama wa Isekai Saikyo Undead.
Oh, we're blasting through them now, folks. Now we're on a roll.
We've got to get through these.
Yeah.
This is the one about the guy who gets isekai'd and his power is infinite healing.
Seems broken.
Instead of... Yeah, I know. It's pretty sick. It turns out that he was only summoned... The heroes are only summoned because they're trying to, like... The civilization is trying to gotcha game their way to his power. And when they finally get it, they strap him to a fucking operating table and just do surgery over and over and over, trying to find the secret behind the healing.
That's pretty messed up.
It's pretty messed up. And he finally escapes, and the big bad vampire of the entire world takes him under her wing, and they go on adventures together. It's, besides the setup, it's like whatever.
Yeah,
all right. The Isekai Doctor, parentheses, any sufficiently advanced medical science is indistinguishable from magic. Now, this is basically a subgenre of isekai itself. There's even a live-action one on Netflix, which I probably mentioned. It's on the front page. You can go watch it now. It's fine. Like I said, I think at the time, isekai that's not about like a guy getting the power to kill everything and instead...
Well, I was about to say, like, the distilled form of this subgenre is, what if I got to go to a fantasy world with a gun?
Yeah, and this is, what if I got to go to a fantasy world and I, like, taught them about the common cold?
It would be funny if he went to the fantasy world with all of his real-world medical knowledge and discovered that magical healing is actually just better. Like, it's just better.
It is better in this world. I like that. But the thing is, the world has made it illegal for all races outside of humans to use it.
Hey, that's racist.
Yeah, it's super racist. And so he decides to abandon humanity and just hang out with all the demi-humans and monsters and teach them how to do like regular magic so they don't have to rely on magic, that's sick. I like that. It's cool.
Kaijin Fugeki.
Yes. This is still continuing. I just read the new chapter like 2 days ago. Oh, it's so good. This is transcendent. This is what you want manga to be. This is incredible artwork. This is wild shit happening. This is like weird, interesting, emotional stories being told. This is just fucking crazy shit. It is great.
Enough said. I see you, Aizawa-san. And I think, I can't say it better than the manga said it itself. No good is going to come from falling in love with a dead girl.
No good can come from falling in love with a dead girl. I say it all the time.
And he means it, folks.
Aizawa-san, this is in the tradition of Yuri, where a girl falls in love with a very inappropriate person. Sometimes it's a ghost. Sometimes it's a vampire.
Sometimes it's a vampire ghost.
Sometimes it's about an assassin. That happens a lot for some reason.
I mean, people are attracted to danger.
Sometimes it's with a straight girl. And those ones are really sad. It's like Seinfeld said, you can't get them to switch teams. They got a good team. They like their team. Oh, man, that's harsh.
Okay.
I see Aizawa-san is the ghost kind, and it's beautiful, and it's creepy as fuck, and it's great.
Yeah, I liked it. I read a little bit of it, and I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. This is the reverse isekai about the guy who, his entire life, when he dreams, he goes into a fantasy world that he thinks is just a dream until an elf girl from his fantasy dream world comes back to reality with him. And you think that it's going to be like kind of a fish out of water romantic comedy about this fantasy elf living in Tokyo and, falling in love with him and
learning what suspenders are. Not suspenders, overalls.
Learning what overalls are, what is smartphone.
What is smartphone.
But no, this is actually a cooking anime. She comes to Tokyo and becomes enamored with all of the different food. And so each episode, he teaches her how to cook a different food or takes her out to a different restaurant.
Sure, why not?
I thought I liked it. I thought it was okay.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Unfortunately, I can't say the same about Medaka Kurowa is Impervious to My Charms. This is a high school rom-com about a girl who is the most popular girl in school. Everybody wants her. Men want her. Fish fear her. The whole thing. Yes,
she thinks she is chasing a Volcel, but it turns out that he is secretly an incel.
Yeah, yes. She wants the titular Medaka Kurowiwa because he is the only one who isn't constantly throwing himself at her for her attention. But it turns out that that's just because he's secretly religious and is trying to stop himself from being tempted.
I hate when I'm secretly religious.
It sucks. I hate that premise. I hated it before the reveal that he was an incel, and I hated it even more after the reveal.
Yeah, very funny though.
Okay, what is Harem Royale when the game ends?
We're starting to catch up. This is all fresh, baby. Harem Royale when the game ends. This is the one about the boy who thinks he is in a harem anime, but it turns out he is actually secretly in a death game where all the harem heroines are trying desperately to not be killed by the magical demon genie who is trying to make the boy's wishes come true.
Which I think is such a fun, cool twist on the genre. I think that's so cool.
It kicks so much ass. It's really good. The only thing I didn't like about it was literally maybe the last 2 pages, but everything else is fantastic.
Oh boy, we're closing in, folks. We're on the final 10.
We're getting there. Galaxias. This is getting a lot of buzz. I found out kind of recently. I started reading it a little while ago when it was still pretty fresh. I really liked it. This is starting to shape up as like one of the new breakouts of Shonen Jump. It seems to be catching a lot of attention. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Kagurabachi was kind of in the same slot, and now Kagurabachi has an anime. Galaxias is catching a lot of the same buzz. So, in a year from now, maybe we'll get a Galaxias anime.
It's pronounced Galaxias, by the way. You have to really put the ass on the ass of it there.
Galaxy ass.
Yeah, Galaxy ass.
Galaxy ass. It's good. Go check it out. This is a fun ass shonen.
Okay. The Rokudo Rounds.
Yes, in the exact opposite direction. The Rokudo Rounds was a very cool and promising shonen with great art and a fun concept. Sort of the cross between an endless tournament arc and a death game. Unfortunately, cut very short because it did not get any buzz at all. I am mourning this one to this day. I really liked it.
It's a shame. You hate to see it happen.
Yep, what a shame. Same thing with this next one here. Dear Anemone. Beautiful. Loved it.
Anemone.
I really, really like this one. This is by the assistant who worked on Hell's Paradise. They got their own spinoff and made it like a pretty good go of it. And I really like what they were doing. I really like their unique art style. I thought, even though it was weirdly similar to what was happening in Hell's Paradise, parallel thought maybe. Maybe just working on it for too long. But it was really good. It had its own spin on it. I really like where the story's going. And it got dumpstered. Super hard.
I mean, this is, of course, when we were closing in around our recent Shonen Jump kind of showcase episode.
Yes.
So that is, unfortunately, pretty par for the course for how they operate.
How unfortunate. The next one is one that it seems to be barreling towards the same fate, but is still currently going. Marshall King by Boichi. I love Boichi. Marshall King is fucking insane. It continues to be insane. The most recent chapter was absolutely wild. Boy, when manga chooses to do Wild West shit, they do some Wild West shit. It's no Steel Ball Run, but Boichi is really bringing it. I hope Marshall King doesn't get canceled before it at least gets some good momentum going. I'm praying for its success. Boichi, please do something that gets serialized again. I cannot read Dr. Stone anymore. I need you to move on.
Oh, man. Dr. Stone. Okay, continuing on with Shonen Jump stuff. You remember me talking about Shiba Inu rooms not too long ago.
I do, intimately.
This is about the girl who moves in to an apartment building that is haunted by talking Shiba Inu ghosts.
Everybody loves dead dogs.
Everybody loves dead dogs. Now, I want to say I liked this. When I read it, I had only read like the first handful of chapters when we talked about it, and at the time, it was a cute little slice of life thing about this girl cohabitating with a dog that can talk, and basically exactly what it sounds like from there. The dog says dog stuff. She has to take care of the dog. You get it. Now, there have been developments that I think you may be interested in because it turns out this is a reverse death game.
A reverse death game?
Yeah, I did not know at the time.
The dog that wins gets to come back to life.
No. Well, maybe. Maybe. We haven't got to that point yet. No, this is, or maybe it's better to call it an inverse death game. Because what we have here is, I did not know this at the time, but the dog ghosts, if they get too happy and content with their earthly confinements, they will ascend to heaven.
Oh, sure. They'll join Buddha.
And so the owners, quote unquote owners, caretakers of these Shiba Inu ghosts have resolved that they cannot make their dogs too happy because they want to keep them around.
They have to neg the dog. Oh my God. Wow.
I like it. I think this is great. I'm having a ton of fun with this one.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because one of the ones down the list here I've been continuing to read includes a boy who can hear ghosts. And one of the ghosts he can hear is his own mom. And when his mom is like, now that you're a teenager, I feel like I can finally move on. And he's like, Mom, I am begging you not to, which I found for a lighthearted manga to be really emotionally devastating. That's really fucked.
Can you not seek the eternal peaceful embrace of the afterlife? I need you around.
Son, I am trying to escape, shake off my karmic attributes, but you want me to like stick around until you get a girlfriend? I'm sorry, dude. I have to go.
Oh boy. That's kind of heavy, man.
It's heavy, man. Okay. Drama queen.
I don't know. We skipped over one here. We skipped over one.
Oh, sorry.
I read Until We're Together, which is the one-shot romance story about the guy that wants to be on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, right.
It was fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
There's a lot of one-shots out there.
I read that one.
And this is one of them.
All right. Drama queen.
Drama queen.
I love this. I think it's great. I've been keeping up with it. This is about the two misfit weirdos who have had it up to here, buddy, with all of these illegal aliens walking around Tokyo. And
oh, God damn it. God damn it. Oh, shit.
And they've started busting heads and eating them too. Quite literally.
I feel like we must have left some off this list, which I'm fine with. This list is very long. But I did talk about Thunder 3 at the same time because it is also about people fed up with illegal aliens in the very literal sense. Literally aliens from space, just to make that clear.
Yeah, no, they're space aliens.
Yeah.
Nothing political about that.
Man, it's weird. Could have sworn we had more, but that's okay. This list is very long anyway. Finally, wrapping it up here, we have two more. One is Drifting Classroom.
I don't know why you included that on the list here. You read that ages ago.
Read this a long time ago. I'll just reiterate that Kazuo Umezu is a fucking genius. You'll see Kazuo Umezu references in essentially every single manga. There is a reference to Kazuo Umezu somewhere.
Junji Ito's entire career is a reference to Kazuo Umezu.
Yeah. I've been screenshotting every Kazuo Umezu reference I find. I will be compiling them at some point. Drifting Classroom is magnum opus. It's beautiful. It's incredible. I love it.
All right. Finally.
And for some reason, the final, I don't know if this is really the greatest note to go out on, but we finally have Otome no Harawata Hoshi no Iro.
Again, this is not a ranked list. This is just the list.
This is just the list. I don't know what the English title is. What is the English title of this?
Otome, so boyfriend game something.
Sure, yeah.
According to Google Translate, the English title is The Color of the Maiden's Intestines and Stars.
Oh, no. That can't be true. No, that cannot be it.
I don't know. I'm just saying what Google says.
Oh, man. I hope that's not true.
What was this one?
The Color of the Maiden's Guts. Jesus Christ. So this is, speaking of illegal aliens, unfortunately, this is the harem, the like goofy, like horny harem anime, harem manga about the guy who goes to alien school. He goes to alien high school where there seems to basically almost only be alien girls, and they're all way into him because he is kind and charming and insanely ripped and hot. But he has sworn to himself he will never get with an alien girl
because he's human supremacist. Right, I remember this.
He wants to have a pure human child. Unfortunately, he is tempted at every turn, and also basically the only people who will hang out with him at this new school is his old childhood friend who is a boy, and all of the girls who fall in love with him immediately. This is a very weird one. It's way too horny, but it is also very funny. Like, I actually found that a lot of the jokes to be really good. So it's punching way above its weight class.
Is this the one where the alien cat girl is surprised that humans aren't into her?
Yes. Well, He's like, I'm sorry, I really don't want to date you. And she's like, you're talking nonsense. Every human wants to date me. Look, I have cat ears. And he's like, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but like only weirdo otaku losers like cat ears, and it breaks her spirit. She goes into a deep depression.
I mean, he ain't lying.
Yeah, it's very funny. It's really good. I like it a lot. Too horny for its own good, but it's like actually well written.
What isn't these days, though?
Holy shit, that was a year of our lives.
Oh, well, at the beginning of next episode, folks, you will look forward to us compiling this data and giving you the definitive numerical value of 2024 in anime.
We are too emotionally zapped to even bring you the actual conclusion now. We will do it in the next episode.
Oh God, we made it. We're done. We're done with it. We're done with the list.
We're done with the list. That was an insane list.
Oh man. Okay.
Other anime podcasts are bringing you One Piece recaps and Demon Slayer reviews
and Chainsaw Man power scaling.
No one is bringing it like this. No one.
No one can say that we aren't providing recommendations of the highest quality and the lowest quality. We're hitting two fronts at once, folks.
No one is hitting the breadth and depth of anime and manga like we are. This is the real shit. Nobody else in the world is talking about Tobacco Chan. Oh, fuck.
For good reason. Some would say, yeah, I mean, not us.
It is true. It is true. No one else is providing you reviews about Subutai Must Be Destroyed. No other podcast is out there telling you about that shit. No one is talking about Super Ball Girls except for us. We are bringing the heat week after week after week. And we're not even asking you for reviews like most of the time because we forget.
We're only asking you for money.
Okay, actually, this week I will. Can you please leave a review for us, please?
Oh, just say the thing. Like and subscribe. There, I said it.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
But I'd like a review. You know, even if you can just like make a fake iTunes account and just leave a 5-star review for us, it would
make
like
a
really
fake
help.
Personality that likes our podcast and leave comments under an assumed alias if it makes it better. Just do it.
Look, all I'm asking is that you buy a cheap USB stick, fill it up with all our episodes of our podcast, and just leave it like at a Denny's.
Listen, all I'm asking is for you to buy some hollow PVC piping, some metal end caps, fertilizer, saltpeter, some fuses. Oh, wait, no, that's the other thing. Never mind.
Wait, hold on. No. Let's talk about that on our other Patreon exclusive podcast.
If you want the full instructions, it's on the Patreon.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, that's enough for today, but we will be back because we've got just a whole lot of 2025 to dive into. It's an ongoing journey.
Look forward to another entire year of ridiculous fucking deep dives, episode reviews, power scale rankings.
The nude calendar is coming out.
Yeah. Oral tradition documentaries about, influential figures in anime and manga. What else?
4K re-releases of 20-year-old movies.
Yep. Breaking news, Blu-ray reviews of special features.
It is a matter of love and friendship and life and death. That is the best way to describe our show.
Yes. And most importantly, Jesus fucking Christ. Anime and manga.
The death spiral continues.
The death spiral continues.
Bye.
So wild. It's really strange. It is rude Yeah, it was really sick. It was like really good, though it's really offensive. It's all right. No, it's just funny.